Quoting Toronto stories, and I paraphrase, we are just weeks away from the worst economic disaster ever to hit our country, and we find for the week ending June 7th in Toronto, 42% of Toronto freehold properties have sold over asking price. In
That's
other
awesome.
recent news,
Awesome.
despite the real estate market being on fire, at least in Toronto, CMHC attempts to throw a wet blanket over the real estate market. In a recent press release, CMHC said, following declines in 2020, housing starts, sales, and prices are expected to start recovering by mid 2021 as the pandemic recedes. You know, Jerry, as a kid, I was taught that if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. Why
Well,
does
we
CMHC
we
feel it needs to make such banal and depressing comments? I mean, it's all just guesswork at this point. Anyways, and if the performance of this past weekend's real estate showed us anything, it's that it's largely impossible for anyone to reliably predict what is going to happen. Perhaps CMHC just wanted to set the stage for new policy changes that will restrict the amount of mortgage debt people will be allowed to take on effective July 1st, next month. The reducing of maximum debt servicing ratios that we mortgage brokers use to qualify people for mortgages will reduce by approximately 10% starting July 1st. In addition, they're increasing the minimum credit score requirements and they're not allowing mortgages with borrowed down payments any longer. By all appearances, Jerry, I'd have to say CMHC is not just bringing bad news, but they're taking an active role to try and force house prices down. The good news in all this is that there are other mortgage insurers. Isn't competition a great thing? Canada Guarantee and Genworth, the other insurers, have announced that they would not be following CMHC's latest tightening of lending guidelines. So it's not all bad. So, why do house prices keep going up despite massive unemployment? Well, it's the old story. Over 100,000 people move to Canada every year, and most of them land in Toronto. People from all over the world want to move their money into Canadian real estate, especially because it's a peaceful country, welcoming to all, with relatively low levels of government corruption as compared with many other countries in the world. I personally am not interested in investing in Toronto real estate because it is expensive and properties usually don't cash flow well in Toronto. As such, I'm presently looking to buy real estate in smaller growing towns. If anything, my experience during COVID has proven to me that it is possible to conduct business without being physically present all the time, as people are learning how to scan documents and send documents around by email. Finally, I cannot stand the outrageous traffic in our city. Not having to fight traffic in the last few months is maybe one of the most positive outcomes for me personally during COVID times in the last few months, as it has lowered my blood pressure. So, in summary, Toronto expensive, CMHC is trying to squash the market, and three, traffic sucks in Toronto. Jerry, what do you say to all of this?
I agree with you that traffic sucks in Toronto. I'm not good. I after everything we've been through here, it's very nice to hear some optimism. So it's good to hear that there's houses, multiple offers, selling over lists. So that's all a good thing. CMHC, I can't figure that out at all. I mean, to explain that to the our kids that are trying to buy homes and need the help of CMHC, but